Welcome to Boost Auto. Today we're going to be installing our S-Series cab lights on 1999 to 2007 GM trucks that did not come with cab lights already installed. Let's get into it. Introducing our S-Series cab lights, Boost Auto's newest innovation. Offered with a wide range of customizable options, these cab lights are sure to set your build apart from the rest, enhance visibility, and add a premium touch to your vehicle's appearance with our exclusive features. Light up the sky with Boost Auto's S-Series cab lights, crisp white or sleek amber running light that'll leave your build looking sharp. You can also option for our jaw-dropping startup sequence, adding personality to your vehicle from the moment you turn the key. Plus, we've developed groundbreaking technology with our S-Series module that produces a standard flashing signal or optional premium sequential signal, where the signal swipes instead of flashes. The best part is that both styles are available as switchback, so they'll fit right in with all the other awesome Boost Auto products on your truck. Our S-Series cab lights' innovative construction means a watertight seal at contact without the need for adhesive or sealants, because our improved gasket design creates an impenetrable seal way better than the OE design itself. Plus, our precision designs are shaped to conform to the curvature of your roof. Combine all that with our retrofit retaining clips that allow you to easily drill a circular hole instead of forcing you to cut out a square one, and there is no other company that can compete with Boost Auto. A couple things to know before we jump into the install. First, the procedure outlined in this video is for all 1999 to 2007 GM 1500, 2500, and 3500 applications that did not come with cab lights. If your vehicle already has cab lights that you're looking to upgrade, or your vehicle is a different year range, head on over to our website at boostauto.com for the latest and fitment availability and to purchase all we have to offer. Let's get started.
We'll start with disconnecting our battery. Our battery is located on the driver's side of the vehicle towards the front. Before disconnecting, if you have a sunroof, go ahead and open it all the way. Same thing with your seats, move them all the way back. Disconnect your negative battery, and if you have an auxiliary battery, disconnect that at this time too. Let's remove our roof center console. To do so, we'll have one screw at the front that you need to remove, and then you'll have to pry it out from the two trim clips in the back. On the back of the roof center console, we'll have this connector. Release the connector by pulling up on the tab and sliding the connector out. We can now remove the sun visor. The sun visor is held in by 3 screws. Maneuver the sun visor as needed to access these 3 screws. Now we can remove the sun visor support. The sun visor support is held in by 1 screw. We can now remove our A-pillar. To do so, use a trim tool and pry it out. However, note, some vehicles may be equipped with a tweeter on the bottom here. You'll have to disconnect that once removed. Press on the tab to release the connector. If you have a B-pillar, you could go ahead and remove that. However, since this vehicle is an extended cab, we have a B-pillar support, so we're gonna remove that now. We're now on the passenger side. The passenger side will have this grab handle. To remove it, release these clips and pull it out. Once these are released out, pull out the grab handle.
Now just repeat the same steps as the driver's side.
And now you can peel the leather stripping and drop your headliner.
Now we're ready to prepare our cab light template to mount on the roof. Your cab light template is going to come in one large piece, which contains 3 smaller pieces: your driver cab light, center cab light, and passenger cab light. First, we need to cut these into more manageable pieces to work with before the actual templates. Right now, we're looking at our 2 outer templates, the driver side and passenger side templates. We just wanted to go over the importance of these templates and how they line up with the roof. This front edge of the template is where it lines up with the front edge of the roof, where it meets the windshield. The outside edge of the template is where it meets the edge of the roof panel down the side. With our center template, the front line is also where the template lines up with the windshield, and the center arrow is where we are going to line up with the center of the roof. These need to be cut and placed precisely so our cab lights are mounted properly. One of the benefits of Boost Auto's S-Series Cab Light Retrofit kits over our competitors' cab lights is that our retrofit template actually comes with the kit, and it's 100% accurate to your vehicle's make and model.
We're now ready to measure our roof.
To make the process easier, we suggest securing the tape measure with a piece of tape to hold it in place while you find the center of the roof.
And now mark your center line. Now over on the passenger side, we can start taping our template. Remember, the arrow is going to line up towards the windshield and the roof panel, and the side of the template is going to line up with the weather stripping meeting your door and the roof panel. Now we can line up our center template, take the center marker and line it up to the center arrow on the template. Once done, start taping down your template. Now do the same on the driver's side. With our template now aligned to the roof panel, we can drill our 1/8 inch pilot hole.
Now continue to follow the template and drill the remaining 1/8 pilot holes. After drilling all your pilot holes, you can now remove the templates.
With the template removed, go ahead and wipe it down to remove any of the metal shavings.
Just to take extra precaution to not damage your vehicle, we've covered the underside of the headliner, and now we are going to cover all the pilot holes with masking tape. It's now time to drill all the 3/8 mounting holes. Be sure not to press down hard on your roof. You only need to drill through the topmost sheet on your roof. Continue to follow the template and drill the remaining 3/8 inch holes.
With your 3/8 hole now drilled for your mounting location on your cab light, you can now drill your 3/4 hole for your connector on the cab light. You only have 3 going across the roof panel of the vehicle, so we could go ahead and get started. And now we could drill out our final and last hole. We can now peel the tape off and clean our roof from any excess shavings. Now we can take our cab light post and insert them where we drilled our 3/8 holes into the roof panel. Once you pop it in place, you'll be able to turn it to line up with your cab light so it mounts correctly. Now back on the passenger side, we can take our cab light labeled right hand, or RH for right hand, and mount it onto our post that we just installed. Now, take the hardware from your kit using the screw that's in your kit and take the rubber gasket and pre-install it before installing your screw.
With your Phillips head screwdriver, evenly tighten the hardware by hand to prevent over-tightening. Continue the process across the rest of the roof.
And finally, back on the driver's side, we can install our last cab light labeled LH for left hand. With our cab lights now installed, grab your retrofit harness, and on the end of the harness with the connector, take it and plug it into the cab light all the way on the passenger side.
Then do the same for the center and driver's side lights.
Secure the retrofit harness to the roof or headliner, keeping it away from any spots where the wires might get pinched. Now route your retrofit harness down the A-pillar, clearing it of anywhere it could get pinched from the A-pillar itself, and secure it. We'll continue with routing our retrofit harness down to the footwell of the vehicle on the driver's side. Start by removing this access panel here. To do so, just lift up and release the clips. After you set that aside, continue with routing your retrofit harness down. And once you see the wires, now start pulling it through. Now for our running light only guys, we'll be running our harness out from inside the cabin to the underhood to the fuse box.
For those who opted for turn signal functionality, go ahead and skip to the next section.
We'll start by taping our harness to a stranded out metal piece.
We're going to be working underneath the driver's side dash, feeding the wires through this rubber grommet and into the engine compartment.
With the underhood now, pull it through the firewall and untape your harness. Before installing our retrofit harness, we'll go ahead and peel back some of the tape to give us a little bit of extra room. However, we don't need to pull all of it back. For our running light signal wire, we'll be pulling our signal down under hood at the fuse box. We'll start with removing the fuse box lid.
We'll start by installing a fuse tap onto the brown wire. To do so, strip back the wire and crimp on the fuse tap. For 99 to 2002 models, you're going to locate your front park fuse, and for 2003 to 2007 models, you're going to locate the trailer park fuse.
For the location of the fuses, reference the back of your fuse box to locate the fuse box diagram.
Remove the factory fuse and install it onto one of the fuse taps provided in the wiring kit, making sure the fuses and fuse tap are fully seated.
For our retrofit harness, we'll take our green wire and install it to a ground stud near our fuse box. For this vehicle, we'll be installing it right here, back by the firewall.
Remove the nut on this stud. Install the ground wire here and secure it back with the nut.
And now we can reinstall our fuse box lid.
For those who opted for running lights only, you can now jump ahead to the final assembly portion of the install.
For those of you who opted for turn signal, you'll get our S-Series module. We'll be mounting this down under by the kick panel of the vehicle.
We're now going to connect your retrofit harness to the S-Series module. Take the output side of the module with the black and blue wires, and we are going to connect them to the brown and green wires on the retrofit harness. Strip back both brown and green wires. Now connect the brown wire to the blue wire and crimp them together. Then do the same for the green and black wires.
And now heat shrink both ends of the butt connectors. Locate your 4-pin harness in your kit and install it to your S-Series module. Install it to the corresponding connector on the other end of the S-Series module. We'll start off with installing our orange wire for our running light first. On the other end of the 4-pin harness, take your orange wire and tape it to a strand out metal piece so we can pass it through the grommet out under hood. Now run your orange wire through the footwell of the vehicle, back by the firewall, out through the grommet to the underhood. Once the strand out metal piece pokes through the grommet, pull it through underhood. Untap it from the strand out metal piece. For our running light signal, we'll be going to the fuse box, which is right here on the driver's side. Start with taking off the fuse box lid.
For 99 to 2002 models, you're going to locate your front park fuse, and for 2003 to 2007 models, you're going to locate the trailer park fuse.
For the location of the fuses, reference the back of your fuse box to locate the fuse box diagram.
We'll be installing one of the fuse taps from the kit onto the orange wire. Start by stripping back the orange wire. Now take your fuse tap and install it on the wire. Remove the factory fuse and install it onto one of the fuse taps provided in the wiring kit, making sure the fuses and fuse tap are fully seated. Once you install it, install the fuse tap back into that location.
And reinstall your fuse box lid.
Next, let's hook up our S-Series module to left and right hand signal. Now, depending on the year range of your vehicle, your tap locations are going to vary. For 2003 to 2007 trucks, we'll be going to the fuse block to side of the driver's side dash, whereas for 1999 to 2002 trucks, we'll be going to your BCM, behind the driver dash, below the steering wheel. Let's get into it. Locate these two fuses for left turn and right turning, as shown in the diagram behind the panel. You can go ahead and measure and cut to length the red and blue and the red and green wires. Go ahead and strip the ends of the wires and crimp down fuse taps from your kit to each of the wires. Up next, go ahead and remove this top right fuse. Again, reference the back of the side panel for fuse location. Insert the fuse to the open slot on your fuse tab that's connected to the red and blue wire from your harness. Then connect the fuse tab back to the fuse block at the same location as the previously removed fuse. We'll do the same thing for the right signal fuse located directly below the left signal fuse. Go ahead and remove it, then connect it to the open slot on the fuse tab that's connected to the red and green wire from your kit. Then connect the fuse tab back to the fuse block. Remember, red and blue is for left-hand turn signal and red and green is for right-hand turn signal. Okay, now you can reinstall the side panel. We mentioned earlier that 1999 to 2002 trucks have different tap locations for left and right signal. Let's go over that now. On the driver's side, go ahead and remove the dash panel under the steering wheel that's being held in by 2 bolts. Oh, and back to release it. Then inside, locate the brown connector on the BCM. Go ahead and squeeze the top and the bottom tab to release it and pull back on the connector. Next, we'll tap to pins B6 and B7, essentially looking at the wire end of things with the connector oriented how it was on the vehicle. B6 and 7 are on the bottom row and in the 6th and 7th slots from the left. You can go ahead and tap to these wires using the provided red T-taps from your kit. Up next, you're going to cut the red and blue wire from your harness to length, strip down the end, and connect a spade connector from your kit to this wire. This wire will connect to pin B6 for left-hand turn signal. And in the same way, prepare the red and green wire from your harness with a spade connector. Then connect that wire to the T-tap at pin B7 or right turn signal. Go ahead and reconnect the connector back to the BCM. Guys, with both signal wires connected, we can now reinstall the panel under the steering wheel. That was the only variation for tap locations depending on the year range of your vehicle. The rest is the same across 1999 through 2007 trucks. Next, we'll tap to power and ground using the power and ground wires from your harness.
Take your 2-pin connector that you can find in your kit with the red and black wire and install it at the corresponding slot on the S-Series module. With that installed, on our other end, we can now continue with installing our power and ground to our S-Series module.
To tap for power, we'll need to access the connector for the stop lamp switch. It's located under the dash on the driver's side, right by the brake pedal. Measure, cut, and strip the red wire from your harness and connect the butt connector end of the inline fuse from your kit to this wire. Crimp down a spade connector to the other end of the inline fuse and heat shrink the butt connector. Now, back of the connector, you can go ahead and disconnect it by depressing on the connector tab. The connector is clearly labeled, so go ahead and tap to pin B. Then connect the red power wire to this T-tab. You can go ahead and reconnect the stop lamp switch connector to its original location. And finally, for ground, we'll connect our black ground wire from our harness to this stud on the vehicle body. This is located right under the driver's side dash. You can measure, cut, and strip back the black wire, then crimp down an eyelet from your kit to this wire. Remove the nut on this stud. Install the ground wire here and secure it back with the nut.
With the S-Series module all hooked up, we can now secure it and took all our wires out of the way of any moving components. With our retrofit harness all installed, and for those of you who option for turn signal, our S-Series module now installed, we could reinstall the headliner. We'll be starting on the passenger side. Start with raising your headliner back into place and reinstalling the weather stripping around your door panel. Reinstall your B-pillar cover. And on the passenger side, reinstall the grab handle by lining it up and pushing in the tabs on the grab handle. Now reinstall your A-pillar. If you have a speaker, you'll have a connector. Plug it in. With it plugged in, line up the bottom tab. And now we could reinsert our A-pillar.
Next, reinstall the passenger side sun visor, starting with the 3 screws in the base. Now, the sun visor support.
Reinstall the connector to your center roof console. And reinstall the center roof console. Line up the 2 tabs and snap it in.
Reinstall the Phillips head screw at the front.
And now we can repeat the same steps on the driver's side. Reconnect your negative terminal at your battery. If you have an auxiliary battery, reconnect that at this time too.
That concludes the install. Thank you for watching and for choosing Boost Auto for all your aftermarket accessory needs. The S-Series Cab Lights featured in this video can be purchased at boostauto.com. We also offer a wide selection of products, parts, and accessories for your make and model truck or SUV that are sure to take your build to the next level. If you'd like to see more videos like this one and get notified of new products for your vehicle, like and subscribe now. As always, catch you on the next one.